I love you, Pumpkin.
I love you, honey bunny.
Everybody be cool, this is a robbery!
Any of you fucking pricks move! And I'll execute every motherfucking last one of you!
Okay, so tell me again about the hash bar.
Okay, what you want to know?
Hash is legal there, right?
Yeah, it's legal, but it ain't 100% legal. I mean, you just can't walk into a restaurant, roll a joint, and start puffing away. I mean, they want you to smoke in your home or certain designated places.
And those are hash bars.
Yeah, it breaks down like this, okay. It's legal to buy it, it's legal to own it, and if you're the proprietor of a hash bar, it's legal to sell it. It's legal to carry it, but that doesn't matter, because get a load of this, all right? If you get stopped by a cop in Amsterdam, it's illegal for them to search you. I mean, that's a right the cops in Amsterdam don't have.
Oh man, I'm going. That's all there is to it. I'm fucking going.
No, baby, you dig it the most. But you know what the funniest thing about Europe is?
What?
It's the little differences. I mean, they got the same shit over there that they got here, but it's just there, it's a little different.
Example.
All right, well, you can walk into a movie theater in Amsterdam and buy a beer. And I don't mean just like a no paper cup, I'm talking about a glass of beer. And in Paris, you can buy a beer in McDonald's. And you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris?
They don't call it a quarter pounder with cheese?
Oh man, they got the metric system. They wouldn't know what the fuck a quarter pounder is.
Then what do they call it?
They call it Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
That's right.
What do they call a Big Mac?
Well, Big Mac's a Big Mac, but they call it Le Big Mac.
Le Big Mac. What do they call a Whopper?
I don't know, I didn't go on a Burger King. You know what they put on French fries in Holland instead of ketchup?
What?
Mayonnaise.
God damn.
I seen them do it, man. They fucking drown them in this shit.
Yeah.
feel the funk, y'all. Let it flow. I'm talking about the jungle boogie. Get down, get down with the boogie. Say, get down, say, get down, say, get down, say, till you feel it, y'all. Get down, y'all. Get down, get up, y'all. With the get down.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. And I want to spend my life with you. Me say, sing, baby, since we've been together. Ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. Oh, baby, let's stay together. Loving you weather times are good and bad, happy or sad. Ooh, yeah. Well, the times are good, bad, happy or sad. Why people break up? Oh, and turn around and make up. I just came to see you'd never do that to me. Would you, baby? Being around you is all I see. Is what I want to do. We ought to stay together.
There's a place where lovers go to cry their troubles away, and they call it Lonesome Town, where the broken hearts stay. You can buy a dream or two to last you all through the years, and the only price you pay is a heart full of tears. Going down to Lonesome Town, where the broken hearts stay. Going down to Lonesome Town to cry my troubles away. In the town of broken dreams, the streets are filled with regret. Maybe down in Lonesome Town I can learn to forget. Maybe down in Lonesome Town I can learn to forget. Lonesome Town.
Preacher's son, and when his daddy would visit, he'd come along. When they gathered around and started talking, that's when Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we go walking. Then he looked into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Yes, he was. Being good isn't always easy, no matter how hard I try. When he started sweet talking to me, he'd come and tell me everything is alright. He'd kiss and tell me everything's alright. Can I get away again tonight? The only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. The Lord knows he was. Yes, he was. How well I remember the look was in his eyes, stealing kisses from me on the slide, taking time to make time, telling me that he's all mine, learning from each other's knowing, looking to see how much we've grown, and the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Oh, yes, he was. The only one who could ever reach me. He was the sweet talking son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me. I guess he was the son of a preacher. The only one who could ever move me sweet was the son of a preacher. The only one who could ever move me was the son of a preacher man. The only one who could ever reach me.
Whose motorcycle is this?
It's a chopper, baby.
Whose chopper is this?
Zed's.
Who's Zed?
Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead.
now the moment you've all been waiting for. It's a world famous Jack Rabbit Slim's Twist Contest. Now let's meet our first contestants here this evening. Young lady, what is your name?
Mrs. Mia Wallace.
And how about your fella here?
Vincent Vega.
All right, let's see what you can do. Take it away.
It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished him well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. They furnished off an apartment with a two-room robot sale. The coolerator was crammed with TV dinners and ginger ale. But when Pierre found work, the little money coming worked out well. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. They had a hi-fi phone, oh boy, did they let it blast. 700 little records, all rock, rhythm, and jazz. But when the sun went down, the rapid tempo of the music fell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. They bought a souped-up chitney, was a cherry red 53, and drove it down to Orleans to celebrate their anniversary. It was there where Pierre was wedded to the lovely mademoiselle. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell. Teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre did truly love the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame have rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks. It goes to show you never can tell.
Girl, you'll be a woman soon. I love you so much, can't count all the ways I died for you, girl, and all they can say is he's not your kind. They never get tired of putting it down, and I never know when I come around what I'm gonna find. Don't let them make up your mind. Don't you know, girl, you'll be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand. Girl, you'll be a woman soon. I've been misunderstood for all of my life. What were they saying? Girl, that cuts like a knife. The boy's no good. Well, I finally found what I'm looking for, but if they give a chance, I'll end it for sure. Surely they would. Baby, how can I could? Now it's up to you, girl. You'll be a woman soon. Please, come take my hand. Girl, you'll be a woman
but soon you'll lose my love. You'll be her woman soon.
My heart is empty. Your eyes are dull. Once we were hungry. Now we are full. These ties that bind us can't beat these chains. If love is shelter, I'm gonna walk in the rain. You were my angel. Now you are real. So like a stranger, colder than steel. The morning after, no one should break. If love is a red dress, well, hang me in rags. Oh, well, there goes a fairy tale. Lord, ain't it a shame? In all this comfort, I can't take the strain. If we played even, I'd be your queen. But someone was cheating, and it wasn't me. I laid on the table. You had something back.
Jack.
Bring out the gimp.
I think the gimp's sleeping.
Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
Hearing you're concerned about my happiness, but all that thought you're giving me is conscience, I guess. If I were walking in your shoes, I wouldn't worry none. Are you and your friends are worried about me? I'm having lots of fun, counting flowers on the wall. That don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. Last night I dressed in tails, pretended I was on the town. As long as I can dream, it's hard to slow the swinger down. So please don't give a thought to me, I'm really doing fine. You can always find me here and having quite a time. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. It's good to see you, I must go, I know I look a fright. Anyway, my eyes are not accustomed to this light, and my shoes are not accustomed to this hard concrete. So I must go back to my room and make my day complete. Counting flowers on the wall, that don't bother me at all. Playing solitaire till dawn with the deck of 51. Smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me I've nothing to do. Don't tell me I've nothing to do.
Want some bacon?
No, man, I don't eat pork.
Are you Jewish?
No, I ain't Jewish. I just don't dig on swine, that's all.
Why not?
Pigs are filthy animals. I don't eat filthy animals.
Yeah, but bacon tastes good. Pork chops taste good.
Hey, sewer rat may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'd never know because I wouldn't eat the filthy motherfuckers. Pigs sleep and root in shit. That's a filthy animal. I ain't eating nothing that ain't got sense enough to disregard its own feces.
How about a dog? Dog eats his own feces.
I don't eat dog either.
Yeah, but do you consider a dog to be a filthy animal?
I wouldn't go so far as to call a dog filthy, but they're definitely dirty. But dogs got personality. Personality goes a long way.
So by that rationale, if a pig had a better personality, he would cease to be a filthy animal. Is that true?
Well, we have to be talking about one charming motherfucking pig. I mean, he had to be 10 times more charming than that Arnold on Green Acres, you know what I'm saying?
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
endless. My days don't seem so bare. I'm walking on a cloud, and there's music in the air. I feel just like a live wire. I've been thrilled through and through since I first met you. The stars that shine at night seem so more clear and bright. The world seems fresh and sweet. My life seems more complete. Through the lonely years, I find my dreams are true. Since I first met you, I pray to the Lord up above to send me someone to love. And now I know my prayers weren't in despair, 'cause I opened up my eyes and you were there. Now my heart's no longer empty. Those happy days are here. My face is full of gladness. My eyes shed no more tears. I found myself a new love. At last I found a true love. Honey, now that I have you, now that I have you,
from you. Red magic satin playing near too. All through the morning rain I gave, the sun doesn't shine. Rainbows and waterfalls run through my mind. In the garden I see west purple shower bells and tea, orange birds and river cousins dressed in green. Pretty music I hear, so happy and loud. Blue flowers echo from a cherry cloud. Feel sunshine sparkle pink and blue. A playgrounds will laugh if you try to ask, or is it cool? Or is it cool? If you arrive and don't see me, I'm gonna be with my baby. I'm free. Fly girl over the sea. Stained window, yellow candy screen. See speakers of kites with velvet roses, big and freedom flies. A present from you.
it's one of the things I do when I'm starting a movie is, not like a starting movie, when I'm thinking about writing a film, when I have like an idea for a film, is what I'll do is I'll go through my record collection and just start playing songs, trying to, like, basically, I guess in some ways, find the personality of the movie, find the spirit of the movie. And then boom, eventually, like, I'll hit like 1, 2, 3 songs that, like, one song in particular, oh, this would be a great opening credit song, because to me the opening credits are very, very important, because that's sort of like that's like the only like mood time that most movies give themselves, and like a cool credit sequence and the like with that and the music that plays in front of it, or don't play any music in front of it, whatever you decide to do, that sets up like a tone for the movie that is important for you, and so that's so I'm always trying to find like what the right opening credit or closing credit sequence should be, early on when I'm just even thinking about the story. Because once I find it, that really kind of triggers me in to what the personality of this piece should be, what the rhythm of this piece should be. Like I'm saying, you don't have to use music. It could just be silence, all right? But then that's important. That is like kind of in some ways like the rhythm and more or less the personality you're trying to project in this film. Having Mr. Lou as your opening credits, it's just so intense, it just says, you're watching an epic, you're watching this big old movie, just sit back, because it's so loud and blaring at you, it's just like, actually, it throws down a gauntlet that the movie now has to live up to, because it's just saying, we're big. I love Bresson and I love Kung Fu movies, all right, and, there is a difference between the two of them, but I appreciate them both for what they do, And it's the same thing with music. I think growing up in the 70s gives you appreciation for certain music that came out in the 70s that nobody else on the planet has appreciation for unless you grew up listening to it, And it's not like, oh, it's so bad it's good. No, I love Little Willie. I think The Sweets Little Willie is a great song, all right? I would listen to that again and make no apologies for it whatsoever. That's a cool song, all right? But it's like, people who can't, people from the generation before don't appreciate it. You go, oh, yeah, we had the 60s and we had this and we had that, and just like wrote down everything as junk. And the 70s, well, we grew up with it, so we like it a lot, And again, I really don't come from the attitude of like, well, it's so cheesy that I like it. No, I like it. Okay, I think it's good. All right, so there definitely is, is that flowing around there. But like, for instance, like Jungle Boogie is like, that's not like a novelty record. That's like an intense like rhythm and blues instrumental, man. That's a cool song. Pulp Fiction is different from Dogs insofar as, like, in the case of Reservoir Dogs, every piece of music in the movie was source music. Somebody turned on the radio and you heard something. Somebody did. It was always like set up in the scene. In the case of Pulp, I actually use score. All right, but in this case, what I did was all the surf music in the movie. I mean, a lot of it is used as score. When John Travolta's driving and there's that little heroin montage, that's score music. He's not listening to the radio, and you hear it throughout the film. And the reason I did that was I always really dug surf music a lot, all right? But the thing is, I never quite understood what the hell it had to do with surfing. I mean, I don't see the connection between this music and surfing. I always to me it sounded like rock and roll spaghetti western music. What I don't want to do is, and I see it happen in a lot of movies, is where they just turn up the soundtrack, all right, to create a false energy, or in particular to create a sense of period that they're not investing in the picture. All right, okay, it's the 60s. We'll play a lot of 60s songs, and that will create the period. All right, to me that's cheap and it's annoying, and like listening to the radio and watching a movie at the same time. They don't really go together, and it's just like it just seems cheap to me. And I try to avoid that. I really want the songs that I'm using in the movie, like in the case of the Maria McKee, or in the case of the Al Green Let's Stay Together, or in the case of any of them, to like, you know, really kind of work in the crux of the scene. All right. I mean, like, for instance, like the Al Green song playing in the scene with Bruce Willis the way it does. I mean, that's almost like a hypnotic score, the way that plays. And just like, because like the majority of the song plays as you're just staring at this like long take of Bruce Willis listening to somebody off screen. The music was tied into, I mean, it was serving two functions. One, it actually, you know, it all had to be 70s because it was working from you know, this thing of it was a 70s radio station. And two, the music was supposed to be reacting as somewhat of an ironic counterpoint, all right, you know, to what you were seeing on the screen. So, you know, that's why I went on my way to get bubblegum songs. You know, I didn't have Led Zeppelin or Marvin Gaye's What's Going On playing, you know. I was like, I wanted, the 1910 Fruit Gun Company, I wanted that kind of stuff. And, Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes. I didn't use that, but like that style of songs as a comic, you know, as a ironic counterpoint. Well, here I'm not really trying to do that. I'm actually trying to find songs that, kind of work more in harmony with what you're seeing, you know, and it just kind of ended up being all over the map. I mean, you know, there is 70s stuff, you know, you play Al Green in there, and you know, or you play Kool and the Gang's Jungle Boogie. You know, you've definitely got a 70s feel. Same thing with Dusty Springfield. That sequence in the movie, you know, basically the scene of a guy going to a house to pick up a date, and like, you know, and he's just waiting for her. All right, and there's all this like tension, you know. He's heard a lot about her, but he hasn't met her yet, and she's talking to him on this intercom, and there's a note on the door saying, "Just let yourself in." So you're like waiting for her first appearance, and he's kind of like, you know, apprehensive about it. That whole idea for a story I've had in my head for like, you know, 6 or 7 years. That sequence, and it always was scored to "Son of a Preacher Man." The movie's all over the map. You know, the movie uses a bunch of different styles in order to kind of tell its 3 stories about one story. It's constantly switching gears. It has an overdrive gear, it has a cruise control, you know, and it has a first and a second and a third all the way through the movie. You know, the movie doesn't move like a bullet. I don't want it to move like a bullet. I mean, I want it to move like a bullet when it's supposed to. And the other times I want it to just kind of like, just kind of hang out for a while, you know. And then when it moves like a bullet, it's even, you know, it's a real bullet. I think it moves even faster. So, you know, that's the whole rhythm of the movie. And the music is very important in that regards. I think it really helps me create that rhythm. All right, we're really trying to make it like, you know, fun and neat and not just a collection of songs. You know, trying to give it a kind of a personality, like this own like little mini offshoot of the movie where you get like pieces of dialogue, and hopefully the dialogue's witty enough and it's interesting enough that you completely hear it out of context and just enjoy it for that. Even before the soundtrack thing, when you're just talking about some of the music from the movie, there's always a little bit of discussion about, well, you know, Quentin, this band really loves you, and they would do a song, all right, and if we got a song of theirs on the soundtrack, oh my God, you know, and then when we go out to sell the soundtrack, oh, we could get this much of an advance if we had a song like that, all right, but never bad pressure, but it's just like, look, Quentin, now that's out there, know it's out there, and boy, would it be so great if you decided to do it, all right, part of my problem, though, with that is the fact that it's the same exact problem I have with a score, is I'm a little nervous about having a band write a song for me, all right, because I might not like it, you know, and what if I don't like it, you know, then I'm stuck, you know, then either, you know, I mean, I probably wouldn't use it, but then I gotta tell them I don't want to use it, and then I've hurt their feelings, you know, and it's like, you know, I just feel weird about that, and so it's like, you know, when there was a thought of like, is there one like new song that we could put on there that, you know, that you would like, you know, and, you know, the Urge Overkill is a new song, but I that was not a problem, I knew I wanted that, but then, I'm a big Maria McKee fan. If you do it right, if you use the right song in the right scene, and it just, I mean, because, I mean, really, when you take songs and put them in a sequence in a movie right, it's about as cinematic a thing as you can do. I mean, you're really doing what movies do better than any other art form, you know. I mean, it really works in this visceral, emotional, cinematic, you know, way that's just like special. I mean, it's just really, really special. And when you do it right, and you hit it right, then the effect is you can never really hear that song again without kind of thinking about that image from the movie. All right? I mean, you are just such a poser and such a lame-o, all right? Like, you know, for using a song that another movie is already kind of like, you know, christened. All right? You know, it's like, I mean, they've used Stand By Me so many times, but to me, the one that used Stand By Me the way is in The Wanderers. You know, and the one they're playing "Stand By Me" as the lead character Ken Wall realizes that like JFK's been shot, and it's perfect. You know, all those other even "Stand By Me," all right, are posers by that. I mean, you can't use "Stand By Me" after The Wanderers, all right. I mean, when Dirty Dancing used "Be My Baby," it's like that is the opening theme to Mean Streets. Excuse me, all right, you know, I mean, like, you know, how can you use Be My I mean, whenever I hear Be My Baby, I see Harvey Keitel leaning back on his pillow. At one point, I thought about using My Sharona for the sodomy rape sequence. Because, you know, My Sharona has a really good sodomy beat to it, if you think about it, you know, dun 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 dun, bum 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 bum, My Sharona. Okay, you know, it like, you know, it's has that, you know, I could, you know, set the time by that. So I thought, hey, that'd be really cool to use it. And it just seems so funny to me. I was like, oh God, this is just too funny not to use. All right. And so we tried to get them. And apparently part of the band was for it, but there was like one of the band has become a born again Christian or something. And he just wasn't for it. And he just, no, I'm not interested, you know. And like, you know, the guy did Reservoir Dogs. Oh yeah, please. Let me give you my song, all right? You know, that's what we got is My Sharona. Now you're going to screw it up in everybody's mind? Okay, great. And at the time, Reality Bites wanted to use it. And we'll go with them, thank you very much. And the thing is, I mean, ultimately, I'm glad. Ultimately, I'm glad because that would have made that, it would have been too cute. It would have been too cutely comic. You know, I like using this stuff for comic things, but I don't want it to be har har, wink wink, nudge nudge, you know, and that kind of would have bordered on that, you know. So you know, Comanche still works the same. It's kind of funny actually, but it doesn't break the scene. The Statler Brothers is one of the major uses of a song that wasn't my idea. That was my music supervisor Karen Rackman's idea. Karen just kept like, you know, giving me different tapes, and you know, for every like 5 new songs, she'd put an old song on there. And there was just like once yeah, the Statler Brothers, that's great, man. I could see Bruce singing that song. Yeah, that would be really good. That would be terrific, you know. And you know, I told the Bruce, oh God, I love it. Oh, that's terrific. I love that song. Urge Overkill doing Neil Diamond's Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. That's a great song. I mean, we didn't say, hey, let's go out and get a remake song. All right, let's just do a remake. All right, it was like I wanted to use that piece of music, like, again, since, you know, when I was writing the film. All right, I heard their version of that song, and I was like, boom, I want to plug that into the movie. That's a perfect song for me to dance to. And I'm right. It is a perfect song for me to dance to. And this is like in the... you know, the pre-production stage of Pulp. And I had about like 6 different songs I was moving back and forth. I changed my mind all the time on the Mia dance number sequence. You know, sometimes I thought about like the Collins Kids would be great for that. I thought about all these different things. And then I played this, and I played this Urge Overkill, whatever they're called, the mini LPs or whatever. I played it, and they had the first one on there was a remake of Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon. And some people I know them, and they said, oh, they just adore Neil Diamond. They just love Neil Diamond. Well, I love Neil Diamond too. All right? And so, like, you know, I heard their version of it, and it was great. Now, I have always loved Neil Diamond's version of that song, and their version is even better. All right? And all of a sudden, it's like, this is it. This is it without a doubt, beyond a shadow of a doubt. This is the song that Mia has to dance to by herself. I played it for Uma. Uma flipped, all right? Yes, you're right, this is great, this is fantastic, I completely agree, you know, and so it was great, and so that was like, you know, that was, you know, it was one of those things where, like, I was in love with about, like, 4 or 5 songs, I could have used any one of them, and I kept flip-flopping, you know, but then I found my true love. I mean, when people ask me, like, you know, what kinds of music do you listen to? I really never know what to say, you know. I listen to a whole lots of types of music, you know, and I always feel somewhat resentful if I have to, like, start, like, narrowing it down, because, well, that kind of says something about me, and that's not really the whole story. You know, I mean, if I say, oh, I really like folk music a lot. I really like listening to folk music. All right. Well, I do. All right. But I like listening to all kinds, and like, you might, you know, make some personality makeup by me saying that I don't think is necessarily, not that it's a bad personality makeup, but I don't think it's necessarily representative of me. I mean, do you know what I mean? You know, it's like, you know, so I always feel kind of weird, you know, trying to narrow it down. You know, it's the same thing for, you know, to me, you know, it's the same thing about, like, how I feel about movies. You know, I mean, I like all kinds of movies, and it's kind of all over the board. I make tapes for friends of mine, you know, and I make, like, special tapes for special friends, and this has that